puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Oh yeah. We packing somebody up tonight. Hey. Come on in, take your shoes off before we close the door. Few rules, heat packing the air. We about to blow. This the basement, ain't nobody safe. You already know. Grab a seat and kick your feet before you get too comfortable. You want the X's and the O's, the Trey, yes and no, friends and the foes, the Butlers and the Herro. You can feel it in your soul. But when the ring is the goal, but if somebody need to go, we be sure to let you know. Going hard for my dogs is an everyday thing. Like Jimmy down the lane of 13 off the screen. Whole squad keep it tucked like number 17. Bring your takes and your memes. Going hard for the team. Going down in the basement. It's going down in the basement. Get your takes off. Get your takes off. Going down in the basement.
Yeah! Welcome to the Basement Sports Network post-game show. The Miami Heat beat somebody. I felt stuff. It was exciting. Bam scored 30. Yes. You won't fool me, though. We got 5 Caleb Martin three-pointers. We got a bunch of shit that you can't rely on. But fuck that. The Heat pulled off a 113-112 victory over the Phoenix Suns. I'm your host, Roy L. Shepard. And I'm joined today by the girl Jess, showing up to work twice in one season. This is a world record. Ladies and gentlemen, she should be applauded. we got my boy Hot Take Harrison. I like LJ calling you the dad of the network, even though I'm a little bit older than you. I like the dad thing fitting your personality. Yes, we got my boy, the Maple Staple, Ariel Latiz. He didn't like his last name, so I gave him a new one. We're going to keep working on it. Fuck that. And, of course, we got the California Cain and the Cain got a calculator. My boy Brian and my boy TJ from the Cain gang. Ladies and gentlemen, 30-point Bam. Dan the Film Jet, thank you for the $2 dono. He said, Bambi became aggressive. Hey, man, 14 points in the fourth. I know a lot of people got a lot of praise to heap on Bam tonight. TJ, we're going to start with you. Give me your thoughts on the game.
Oh, man, the game was fun, man. It don't fit my agenda, but nevertheless, the game was fun, man. That boy, Bam, my God. That fourth quarter, it was everything we wanted to see. The boy had 30, 14 free throws, 18 field goal attempts. He took a three. Please, Bam. I'm not going to be fooled, though.
You see my name.
Yeah.
Don't do me like this, Idris. Don't do me like this.
15 points next game with 3 shot attempts. Don't even worry about us coming, but we're going to enjoy the moment. That's what we do. You got some good stuff from Kyle Lowry. He was doing good things. Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler. I mean, it was a fun game, man. I can't complain. I mean, there's something to complain about. There's one individual, but nevertheless, I'm excited about the game.
No, for sure. Ariel, we're going to kick it to you, bro. Give me your thoughts on the game tonight.
Yeah, I just want to echo a lot of what Twan said. It was a hell of a game. That was like probably the first time this season, unless I'm kind of missing a game out, where the Heat showed like real resilience, right? Like that, like shit started getting dicey late in the third, and then even when they cut it down to like 3-4 points earlier in the fourth quarter, the Suns went right back up by 13. I think they were up like 102-89, and then I mean, just the Heat showed resilience, and that's what you want to see. Like that's kind of the staple of this team and what they're all about. And we've kind of grown to expect that, and that's part of what's been so disappointing this season is that they kind of just haven't showed the grit. They haven't shown the want it more than the other team. Because let's face it, we've been saying this for years about this squad. This iteration of the team is no different in that they're a try-hard team. They're not going to out-talent most teams unless Jimmy or Bam like completely dominate a game. And how frequently does that really happen, right? They usually need a collective effort to get these wins. So when they don't bring their A game, they usually lose. And they didn't bring their A game tonight until the fourth quarter when they were already in a hole. And it was inspirational to see, honestly. Like, that's what you want, right? We know Jimmy to take over a fourth quarter and lead you to a win, but to see Bam just dominate the game like that, just like it's like it's euphoric, it's beautiful. Like, that's what we want from Bam. We're not going to get all caught up in can he do this shit every night. That's not the point, right?
He did it tonight.
He did it tonight. We saw him play to his full potential, and in the last 9 games. Rough math here. I haven't actually ran the numbers. I'm hoping Hot Take Harry can back me up here. I think Bam's averaging something like 23.5, 24 points per game in the last 9 after kind of having a little bit of a slow start. So he's up the aggression, and that's what you want to see from him.
Nah, fuck that. That boy Bam was him tonight. Goddamn. He made DeAndre Ayton his bitch. That's what he did. He was bitching him all game. And then there was a moment like at the beginning of the fourth quarter, Bam dominated, and then the team kind of like went away from him a little bit. That's when the game got back dicey. But then he came through again with the little putback layup. Like tonight, Bam was everything that we all, except for probably the next person who I'm about to throw this to, want him to be. Brian, say good things about Bam Adebayo because he scored 30.
Bro, I love Bam, first of all. All-star. I've been saying he could be All-NBA. But in regards to tonight, I'm not impressed. Do it again and again and again. Until the end of the season, and then I'll give you. But no, Bam was
Yeah. Shut that shit up.
That's
Shut
right.
that shit up.
Pull out the receipts, Justin.
Spin move.
Hey, no, that was
Hey, man, that's 6'10" Dewayne right there.
First of all, I want to make it clear. I love Bam. Like, I have been on the Bam train since that man was drafted. I said he'll be the best power forward in the NBA. Because he's a center now, but just this is like receipts. Like, you go back. I said this. I've been on that train. But at the end of the day, listen, pretty good win, pretty decent, pretty high, whatever. They're average now 7-7, 500. Cool. Yeah, they beat a good team. Claps. Cool. It's the first time it happened this season, other than the Warriors, I guess. But the Warriors are trash. It's just what's crazy? Recently, I've noticed that the Heat, the offenses looked a lot better. The defenses looked a lot better in these past few games. I'm not sure why. It's kind of crazy.
I got a reason.
Like I don't know.
Oh yes, Ariel Latiz.
Tell me. I don't know. Who's that? Come on. What's that? Is that a name?
I'm so happy Ariel Latiz is here. So that we can have. I am so happy.
I felt we were getting to a boiling point here. I had to show up.
Yeah. I get irritated when you don't show up for work for a long period of time. I need you. Thank you, Dan Jordan, for the $20 dono. He said wins without starting shooting guard, trading time. Oh, what is this that you speak of with the $20? Whoever could he be speaking about, guys?
We don't know.
Put him on the
Victor Oladipo?
Maybe.
No one's going to trade for him yet. You got to wait a little bit.
Let's let Jess and Harrison get their shit off. It's been almost 8 minutes, and we haven't heard either of them. Jess, we're going to kick it to you. Give me your thoughts on the game tonight.
Listen, I thought the game was super exciting, obviously. Bam, he's always solid, but he's not always aggressive. And so he doesn't have to drop 30 points, but when we see a game like this, we see the difference in how he plays. It's not that often that you see him diving on the floor, even getting hype and like being expressive about it. It's like he just always plays a little soft to me, but he'll still end up with 20 and 10, and it's just a little more quiet. So I just love watching him be aggressive. I wish he would do it every game. I'm also, pessimistic, so I'm not going to get excited and be like, oh yeah, he's going to do this every game because we're Heat fans and we know what to expect. But it's I just wish he would. And somewhere I'm still holding on to maybe he will continue to do this, but I don't know. But overall, the game was great. Jimmy came in clutch. I mentioned this on one of the last streams of Strus coming off a 30-point game, struggled a lot tonight. I think he ended with 5 points. So, I'm happy that we were able to spread the wealth, I like to say, and people pick up the slack when some guys aren't showing up. I think that's the most important thing. That's what's going to continue to get us dubs. The Suns are solid, obviously. Yeah, we can't ignore that they were missing this guy. You're missing a starter. I don't feel as good as if we had beat the team in their entirety. I know we were without Tyler Herro, so maybe it somewhat balances out, but it was a solid win. I'll enjoy it.
All of y'all have disgusting agendas against this team. Y'all are some vile human. No, yes, your agenda is the nastiest. Mr. 53 wins this season. That's the most disgusting shit that has been said.
It was 52 to you, sir.
It doesn't fucking matter. We ain't
lied.
getting them either.
It's 53 Canadian wins.
I lied.
You know what? With that Canadian transfer rate, that might be exactly how many wins.
That's like 64 wins in Canada, bro. So let's not.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So you might have really meant 45. Harrison, we're gonna let you get your shit off. You had some spicy shit going on the timeline today, Harrison, when it came to this game. But I want to hear your thoughts on tonight's game after they pulled it out.
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously a great win, especially down the stretch. Bam, fourth quarter takeover. You'd like to see it a lot more. I think it'll happen if they get the guys around him that maximize his game. I don't think the lack of aggressiveness is really like something. I think he's busy, man. He's plus 12 and a 1-point win. Like he is busy taking care of business on the other end because no one else can. I like the Kyle Lowry three. My wife in the corner very quietly said "Chubby King." I heard her say that as he hit that three. Right there, he had a very nice shot to take the lead, go up by 2. You kind of like, as Jess was saying, Max has struggled tonight. The bench was scoring, but they destroyed us when the bench was in. When Bam sits, this team is not good.
Oh my God!
And so to win a game like that, and one where they had to make buckets at the end, the play where Bam got the last 2 free throws at the end of the game was a really nice play. They drew up.
We're talking about the lights.
Sorry.
Run the lights.
I was just, I didn't know. It was like, you want me to get up and run or something? I'm not talking about. So yeah, I just thought I thought it was a good win for the team. I think that same issue still exists. I mean, people are getting mad at me because I write like they're small. You guys saw that Aiton got that offensive rebound. I almost shat myself. I was like, damn, they're gonna win because we couldn't box this guy out. I mean, I know he's huge, but like, get the rebound. Especially, I think it's tough for a team that plays such good defense, especially on the first effort. Like Jimmy was killing Devin Booker at the end, and you got to get that ball for him. He had to defend him 3 separate times to end the game, and it's just like, get the rebound, let's hit the free throws, and let's get out of here. They made it a little more scary for me, but we'll take the win and we'll move on to the next one.
Can I add something? Please.
Jimmy had 13 rebounds because we don't have any tall people on our team. I just want to point that out. That is why he had to.
Yo, when Bam sat out, DeAndre Ayton turned into Hakeem the fucking Dream Olajuwon out there against this goddamn team. He was chewing everybody's ass. Don't you? Thank you, Corey, for the $10 dono. He said, shout out to Tyler Herro for sitting this game out and not getting 100 on defense. The real MVP. Fuck is you talking about? Thank you, Dad Jordan, for the $10 dono. He said the lack of aggression at the starting shooting guard spot led to the win today. Trading time. Hey, man, you can keep giving me money and pushing that nasty ass agenda anytime you want to. Because I want my flowers. Because I've been saying that shit. And Ariel Latiz called me fucking crazy. And now look at us. Beating an actually good team.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
We have won 3 straight without 14. Maybe he's the problem.
2 of those games were against Charlotte.
We have won 3 straight games without 14.
You're right. They would have gone 0-3. You're right. Push your agenda. You deserve it tonight. I disagree with you. You're full of shit, but go for it.
How do you disagree with me? The proof is in the pudding, Ariel.
It's not. It's not, man.
We have won 3 straight games.
They won 53 last year with him playing 33 minutes a game and playing most of his minutes with their best players.
Where he said,
it's a terrible argument. It's a terrible argument. We'll get to it if you want to.
Charlotte is like going to a strip club and saying that you saw it. It's like
I don't go to strip clubs, so I don't.
Also,
I can't really.
Harrison, you getting this smoke too? Because I heard you on the Random Scrub Heat podcast talking about this is a ridiculous idea to sit Herro. I got something for your ass too.
He's right though.
Shut your ass up. That's not what we're talking about right now. We're going to talk about Jimmy Butler. No, let's talk about Kyle Lowry, another motherfucker who we always give smoke, who played okay today. Ton, your turn. Let's talk about Kyle Lowry, man. What you saw from Kyle Lowry tonight?
Hey man, Kyle was good. I can't be mad. I mean, the flopping, my God. I mean, he was at an all-time rate. He was doing legendary numbers with the flopping. The boy, I ain't never seen the man hit the floor this much. I think it was probably the first 3 minutes of the game. He caught a rebound and fell on his back. I thought the arena shook. But yeah, Kyle Lowry was good tonight. He was getting into the paint, which I mean, we barely seen that all season. So he get to the rim. He was actually making layups. Was drawing fouls, making timely 3-point shots. He did the Kyle Lowry thing that we needed him to do all season. Obviously, it's real up and down with him. After that first quarter, I think he didn't score until the second quarter. But after that first half, I was thinking like, oh, we're going to get another Kyle Lowry game where he's a dud. I was prepared for the slander to come. And in the second half, he stepped up. So shout out Kyle Lowry, man. He was good tonight.
No, for sure, Roberto. Listen, don't you get up here telling us what to do, because I will slander that fat bitch right here in your face. But you're right. We shouldn't, because he played well tonight, so we won't. Want to thank Darius Jordan for the $5 donut. He said Canada's terrible it is. I agree with you, Darius Jordan. Come here, baby.
Yeah, pretty helpful. Pretty cool.
Y'all got to give me a second.
No school shootings, that kind of stuff. So it's all right.
They need to give birth here. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Talking about basketball.
Yeah. No, I mean Canada's all right. Just like in the winter, it's kind of rough. Royal, you wanna get this back on track, or?
Oh yeah, sure. I got you, bro. I had to. You saw what was going on, bro. The baby Cain. The baby Cain got to be.
The juxtaposition of you calling Kyle a fat bitch and then your son coming in and giving a kiss. It's very funny. It's like the two sides of Royal.
It'd be like that sometimes, Harrison. Atias, I'm gonna let you get your shit off. We're not gonna stay on Kyle Lowry for everybody because he doesn't deserve that much praise. But Atias, I'll let you go ahead and give him a little bit tonight.
It's very bizarre that you're addressing me by my last name, but we'll talk about it later. Anyways, Kyle Lowry, I thought, okay, overall solid game. And if you look back, I'm kind of surprised by this because I kind of didn't really notice, but in his last 9 games, I'm just looking at the raw numbers and he's been pretty good. Like he had a slow start to the season. And since then, he's been kind of solid for them, man. You know what? Disgusting. He still needs to chill with the crazy hit-ahead passes and throwing shit up to Jimmy like he's Randy Moss. But other than, kind of the recklessness, which is kind of surprising because he's been a really smart player for his entire career. So I don't know what has happened in the last 2 years. But he's been really solid for them, man.
That's what happened.
Look, we've seen him get downhill a little bit more. It doesn't always end up being successful, right? Like he doesn't always get a layup out of it, but we see him get downhill a little bit more, and he's hit some big shots in the last few games. He's averaging something like 7 or 8 assists in the last 9 games. So that's all you want out of your point guard, right? Just be solid. Don't kill us, and don't go, multiple games at a time with 1, 2, 3, 4 shots all game. Like you need to be some level of aggressive, and the defense does have to respect him a little bit. He's had the ball more in his hands since Tyler Herro's been out, and I think that that's part of why he's been playing a little bit better lately. I don't think that means that Tyler needs to go to the bench. I kind of think it's the other way around. Hold up. I'm not done. So I kind of think it's the other way around. If I were to bench one of them, it'd be Kyle. Right, thank you. But given what we've seen over the last few games, he's been solid for them and it's resulted in some wins. So you take it, you're happy with it. But do I kind of trust Kyle Lowry to keep this up all season? No, I think he's going to kind of take breaks while he's out there on the court throughout the season. So it's good to see him step up a little bit offensively when Tyler Herro's been out.
No, especially in such a close game. It's kind of something that you guys alluded to earlier. This game showed competitive fire that seemed to have been lacking throughout the course of this season. That is kind of what my biggest takeaway was. They look like they gave a shit tonight. And that's when you can get invested in I don't give a fuck if I don't think they're a championship team or not, but you can win more games than not if you give a shit, because that's what you have to do. So I'm going to get it off of Kyle. That was a lot of praise for him. Want to thank Tylette Miller for the 199 donut. He said Bam is him. Yes, Bam is him.
Yes, he is.
Let's get to Caleb Martin, who was also him from the 3-point line, doing what Duncan Robinson should be. Brian, let's talk about Caleb.
Yeah,
and it was great tonight.
He was pretty good. It's not even the 3-point shooting that impressed me tonight with Caleb, because that's going to come and go. It was the point of attack defense. Him guarding Cain, I thought was obviously he's done that, in his 2 years with the Heat. But I think that's a really, really, really important facet of this Miami Heat defense, because they don't have a lot of guys that can do that. And that was obviously his value off the bench behind Jimmy, was that you can have a guy who can guard 3.5 positions, essentially. Campaign's good, man. And I think that having a guy that you can place on him with length, with athleticism that can stop him from just walking into the paint, floater, whatever, that's important. So I was impressed with Caleb tonight. Caleb he's solid. Nights like this he's key to this defense. He's key to obviously the offense when he's hitting threes. So shout out to Caleb.
No, for sure. Jess, I ain't gonna hold the ball too long. Talk about Caleb's game tonight.
Listen, I totally agree. And I think what we've realized when we talk about any player on our team other than Jimmy is that we can't expect them to continue to be consistent when they have a great night. And so the same way we're not going to expect Bam to be aggressive every game or Lowry to play great every game, we can't expect Caleb to come hit threes like he's never done all year as far as I'm concerned. So it was nice tonight. We could enjoy it tonight. I thought it was great. I totally agree. Also, he was great on defense, and we'll take it wherever we can get it. Right, like on either end of the floor is what we need. But to me, he's always solid. I know Heather has her own nasty agenda also, but he's always solid. I think the reason that we can't be mad at him when he doesn't play well is because we're not so dependent on him that we need him to have a good game every day like we do with Jimmy or with Bam or whoever it is. But he always, I think, gives us a spark on offense and on defense, and I was pleased with how he played tonight. So,
no, for sure. I don't know. My boy Stanley Browning gave us the $1 and he did it again. There we go with the mute dollars. We appreciate it. Fuck it. We take that too. I want to thank my guy Fernando Lopez with the 1999 done. This is for my Bay Jess. Hey, Fernando.
The dick is crazy.
Man, out generational. You hear me? Listen, Fernando, we appreciate you coming in here and trying to give Jess $19.99. But let me tell you something right now to your fucking face. Brick talk. Bitch, you can call me Ghost. We breaking that bitch down. Fuck is you talking about? Fuck is you talking about? She will see a percentage of your 1999. If that,
in my experience, that always works. So you should keep donating, brother.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. Give us $19.99 more simp dollars, and we'll go ahead and we'll take it too. Harrison,
much dollars.
I'm gonna move the bar again. You know what I mean? Every two players, every two people, I'm gonna move the bar. I want you. No, okay, I seen the comments. So now, fuck it. You get to go on to. You get Duncan first, Harrison.
All right. I was getting ready to talk about. I like Caleb.
Don't care. You get.
I mean, listen, Duncan had 10 points, which is friggin' awesome for Duncan. But then again, you had Deadman just yelling at him at the end of the third at the bucket he gave up. Because I feel like this is how I think of Duncan now. He's like the rich kid in class who doesn't do anything and still gets an A on the group project. He's just that guy that no one wants to be around anymore. The moment they get rid of this guy, the team is going to go on a run. I'm telling you right now, you can mark it down, mark the date, mark the time. He's a dead weight on this team. There's a ton of other guys that can shoot the ball, and it doesn't need to be him. And so I'll give him, we need all his points tonight. We probably don't win if he doesn't play because again, we're playing 8 men in November for the fourth game in a row. But just, I'm ready to move on from. I think everyone's kind of ready. Even the people who have stand for Duncan for a long time are getting tired. And and Duncan's whatever. Caleb played well, and I'd like Caleb to keep playing like that, hitting those threes. I don't want to talk about Duncan anymore. Thanks.
Even Dewayne Deadman is sick of fucking Duncan Robinson. Dewayne Deadman has had it with Duncan Robinson. Okay, he had it up to here.
I ain't never seen that man get angry a day in my life. Bro was pissed.
He has had it up. When Duncan did box that man out, Dewayne Deadman had it up to fucking here.
Deadman's had engines that have given him less trouble than Duncan.
TJ, I saw in the private chat that you wanted to get to Duncan. So I'm going to let you cook. Talk about brother Duncan Robinson tonight, man.
I'm glad you came to me, Royal. There was something that was laid on my spirit about one Duncan Robinson. And I got to deliver it to the people. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have your book of the basement, please turn with me to Nicolations 6 and 8. And it reads, the voice of management spoke to the disciples and said, there is one among you that must be cast away in exile. And when he returns, he will be wearing a new garment and speaking a new tongue. Ladies and gentlemen, I heard Tom Wall was having tryouts. And I know they got Dwight Howard, but they trying to win a championship, unlike the Miami Heat. So they got to get as much talent as humanly possible. So for my Asian basketball fans, have no fear. Help is on the way. Robinson Duncan is coming soon. So get yourselves ready. Help is coming and the championship is on the way. And let the church in the basement say amen.
Tabernacle. Fuck is you talking about? Oh my God, bro. Oh my God.
Get that man out of here.
Oh shit, bro. Let me explain something to you. Check the game.
That's like your nemesis, dog.
Bro, listen, bro. Like this shit has been at my neck ever since he got banished from the basement. So, like, I ain't gonna do you bad on here, Jit. Just stand the child's place, my boy. Let's get to some of these other people. Let's talk about Dewayne Dedmon, Ariel.
Oh, fuck.
What you mean? Dewayne was all right tonight, bro.
Listen, Dewayne Dedmon is like bed bugs to me. Like, I literally don't like. He had 12 tonight. Whatever. He had some decent work. I don't even like. What do you even want me to say?
He had them back-to-back threes.
Yes. Okay, that's right. That's why his numbers look decent. Because prior to that, I was dying. Like, when I watch Dewayne Dedmon, I feel like I lose like time off of my life because he does so much bad. Like, there's just so much bad. Like they were. I don't know why the Heat are doing this. This is not entirely Dewayne Dedmon's fault, but they decided when Bam went out of the game to start blitzing above the 3-point line. I think it was
Devin Booker.
Yeah, like in the third quarter, they're blitzing. They're sending 2 at the ball handler, who's usually going to be Devin Booker, and he's a good enough offensive player that he'll be able to hit somebody out of that double team, swing pass, and then it's like 4-on-3, 4-on-2 sometimes. If depending on how many people you count Dewayne Dedmon for. So there's like so many instances where the ball gets below the free throw line and Dewayne Dedmon is in no man's land and he's just getting scored on. Or there's like, there was a rebound in the early in the fourth, late in the third, somewhere around there. It was a big play. The Heat needed a stop. Like they were kind of starting to get going a little bit, and like they had the rebound, and stupid Dewayne Dedmon comes flying in and just crushes somebody and gets a rebounding foul called on him, like for no reason. He wasn't even near the rebound. So I mean, like, I honestly, if it were up to me, they wouldn't play Dewayne Dedmon at all. I'd play Duncan Robinson at the 5 before I'd play Dewayne Dedmon. Like, I really don't care. I don't care anymore. I've had it. And when I saw Dewayne Dedmon screaming at Duncan Robinson, all I could think to myself was, like, the nerve. Like, really the nerve. Like, I don't know if it's racism. I don't know but, like, just the nerve of Dewayne Dedmon to give someone else shit because he is the king of defensive breakdowns for this team. So, I don't know what else you want me to say other than, like, if I were to say something good, yeah, the 2 threes were awesome. But I tweeted tonight that, when, little kids will check under their bed or in their closet for the boogeyman, I check under my bed for Dewayne Dedmon transition pull-up threes. Like, they kill me. They hurt my heart. They hurt my soul, and I never want to see him again. Is that it? No.
No, this is what? Being elite. This is being elite.
That's fine. You're just making me feel better, Justin. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, that's all I've got on Dewayne Dedmon.
No, that motherfucker.
I hate him.
Why, bro? He's better.
He's terrible.
You said the nerve of him to yell at Duncan Robinson. Like Duncan Robinson deserves any credit from anybody.
Neither of them deserve anything, but Dewayne Dedmon, of all people, yelling at people for defensive breakdowns just gives me, like, I'm going to develop IBS. Like, I can't deal with it.
You are nasty. Thank you, Stanley Browning, for the $5 dono. He said Dewayne feeling like UD when Herro nearly put him in the retirement home. Nearly put retirement home. Tyler Herro nearly put that motherfucker in the grave. You hear me? When he threw that bitch that lob, bro, I thought UD was gone to glory. Fuck is you talking about? I thought that shit was over with. Brian, we're gonna let you talk about Dewayne Dedmon too, bro.
Yeah, Dewayne Dedmon is constantly. He's just like, I don't know, bro. That man was born ass. But you know what? I'm like, without his 2 transition threes, they don't win this game. I feel like they shouldn't count. Like, every time Dewayne Dedmon makes a 3, I feel like they just wave it off, say like, nah, that's not real. But hey, I will say again, I think that Dewayne Dedmon's value to this team is giving Bam a breather. That's basically it. He's outside of that.
They die whenever Bam goes to the bench.
Right, but you can't play the game all 48 minutes. So
That's a shooter.
I'm fine with that one because it's a set shot. It's the transition threes like he's Tyler Herro. Like
I don't want him to shoot anything. Like anything beyond 5 feet. Don't. I was at the Warriors game, bro. I watched this man brick layups, bro. I don't even know how that's possible. You're 7 feet tall. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, his value is making sure that Bam has enough cardio to do what he did in the fourth. So I give him props for that.
We will find some positivity about the dead man tonight on here. Just
I just said, without those 2 threes, they don't win this game. Positive.
Mr. Negativity. Just please.
I would like everyone to take a moment and put some respect on the mechanic's name because we as Heat fans are in no position to be like, oh, that man's ass, that man's this. Someone gives us 12 points, like we got to take it. We are not in a position to do this. I'm not even kidding. I thought that he was aggressive on certain plays. When they threw him that lob, like I almost had a stroke.
Same thing.
When they threw him that lob, I seriously was like, oh no, that's not Bam, bro. You can't throw him the ball like that. I was dying. But other than that, like I actually thought he was kind of solid. And at the end of the day, when we've equipped this team to have no one over like 5 feet tall, like he's gonna have to play a little. And that's just that.
No, for sure. Look, I was fucking with Deadman tonight, man. My guy got in there. He made them 2 threes. He did stuff and things. And I always like games where people do stuff and things. Harrison, you brought it up in the private chat. And since you are a panelist on the Random Scrub Heat podcast, let's talk about a new inductee into the Random Scrub Heat Killer starting 5. That boy, Dwayne Washington. TJ, you spelled his name wrong like I did on Twitter. It's a D-U-A.
No, I spelled it exactly the way I was supposed to. You reading that right?
I got you, big dog. Harrison, you brought it up so you can start the conversation on him. Oh, where the fuck did this guy come from?
Okay, this is our. I think this might go up on the Mount Rushmore of Random Scrub Heat Killer games. This guy had 9 points before the season. He scored 21 tonight. Not only that, the only reason why he's on the Suns is because the Pacers waived Dwayne Washington in order to make room to sign DeAndre Ayton, who was eventually matched by the Suns. So they waived this guy simply to not sign Ayton, and he ends up on the Suns. He roasted us. It was scary. He was just hitting everything. I think he ended up shooting 8-14 from the field. I think we need to chisel it into the Mount Rushmore because that was insane. We've had some bad ones. There are guys who always crush the Heat, but for this guy to come out of nowhere and do that one hurt. Thank God we survived. And I just want to say, guys, when we talk about the Random Scrub Heat Killers, remember we got the Random Scrub Heat podcast tomorrow. We're going to be on there. We're going to be talking about this game. We're going to be talking. About all things Heat. We might bring on a guest to talk some trades. We got some stuff going on. So tune in tomorrow. We'll drop it tomorrow night. But really, you have to – we don't have to like it, but you got to respect some of these games because that was absolutely insane. And Twitter and everyone else was losing their minds.
See, this is why you don't talk to crazy-ass people from Atlanta. I'd love to see Deadman in the dunk contest. That's comedy. Justin, you are elite, bro. But I think it's interesting that you want to put them on the Mount Rushmore of Random Scrub Heat Killers now. We got some goats out here. It's some legends out here when you talk about that list. So we'll get into that a little bit. But yeah, talk about Dwayne Washington a little bit, TJ.
I'm glad you came to me. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason I spelled his name this way is because there's only one Dewayne that I saw come into that building where the Miami Heat played basketball and performed that way. So that boy, Dwayne Washington Jr., let me tell y'all something. He played a total of 17 minutes this season. He had a total of 9 points this season before tonight's game. He saw the Miami Heat's floor. He saw the jerseys. He heard that Gabe Vincent he heard that Kyle Lowry would be playing basketball, and he got into the Duffy bag. I mean, my goodness. Getting 20, no problem. He got his tongue out. He throwing up 3. I mean, It's
Sort of
embarrassing to
gang
see that.
signs and shit.
I ain't never seen this man a day in my life, and all of a sudden he's cooking the heat. As far as I know, he could have been working at Target yesterday. Look at this. Put full screen, Jacks. My goodness, Daddy, look at what happened on your account, Miami Heat. This is why we need to tank for Wemby. I'm disgusted.
That would never have happened on Wemby's watch. Never.
Never.
Thank you, Stanley Brown, for the $5 donut. He said, "Hit me need assistance because my heart was racing with those final seconds. I just knew Devin was going to pull a Josh Hart." Listen, bro, I actually enjoyed my heart pounding for a game this season.
It's nice to care.
It's nice. It was nice to feel something, bro. I felt like I had a post. Like all the rest of these games, it has been an absolute chore to get on these post-game shows. But I was excited about doing it tonight because I felt something tonight, and I was cool with the game. Let's talk about another guy who was also kicking our fucking ass. What's his name? Damian Lee. Ariel. What was happening with Damian Lee? How the fuck was he so open all game long?
Because the Heat can't guard anyone on the perimeter. Like they do this stupid thing where they soft switch everything when it's not necessary. And sometimes what ends up happening is, I mean, it's not even so much the soft switching as much as it is like a personnel issue because they're playing multiple below average defenders in the lineup. I know that people will say that Max Strus has gotten better defensively. He has. He's still not an average or above average NBA defender. Like he's still by regular standards, not a very good defender. Duncan Robinson, not a good defender. When Tyler Herro's in the game, not a good defender. Kyle Lowry,
defender.
Yeah. Kyle Lowry, solid.
Awful defender.
Kyle Lowry, solid in the post.
Putrid defender.
Everywhere else,
well below average defender.
That's right. And what happens is, like, you're going to end up with perimeter guys that are able to go off on you. The Suns move the ball really, really well. Like, they were slicing and dicing the Heat's defense up, whether the Heat, especially when the Heat were blitzing, but whether they were blitzing, whether they were switching, whether they were doing, like, even when they were playing zone, the Suns were getting good looks over and over and over again. And the end result of those plays is one of their guys are wide open. Damian Lee had a lot of good looks, and the Heat, to their detriment, like if the defender's not there in time, it's an open three. The defender then overcompensates to try to get there in time. It's two dribbles inside the 3-point line. It's an open floater in the lane. It's an open pull-up jumper. It might even be a layup if Dewayne Dedmon's in the game. So it's just they have a personnel issue, and what's going to happen is most nights there's going to be some perimeter random dude who's just going to kill them. Tonight there was two of them. Next game, it might be more, it might be less, but it's just like, it's not even a schematic thing because it kind of, in my opinion, doesn't even matter so much what kind of defense they throw out there. I would like to see them drop more with Bam in the game, but other than that, I don't have any, like, I think they should do this, I think they should do that. I think they just don't have the guys, you know, they, like, if Victor Oladipo were healthy and, you know, if they had a legit replacement for PJ Tucker who can cover up as many defensive warts as he did, then this would be less of an issue, but they don't. Right, so they need a move, and where they're at right now is like this is just status quo. They've got to win shootouts, I think, a lot of the time in order to win games.
No, for sure. Why is this disrespectful to say Max Strus is not a good defender? He was not great defensively in the playoffs last year. He was solid.
He's all right. He's fine. He's like barely league average on his best nights. Like,
be happy with that. Okay, he's not a great defender. He's not locking his shit up. But I disagree with you on one thing that you said. You said there were two perimeter guys. No. There were multiple because you got Mikal Bridges who got off for a minute.
He's a good player though. Like I take it. Yeah, you're right. But like to me, it's like Mikal Bridges, Devin Booker. They're gonna get at least like they'll get theirs a little bit. Mikal Bridges was giving Caleb Martin work. I hope Heather's not watching. Like that's not like Mikal Bridges is not the most skilled guy in the world. He's good player, but like. That dude shouldn't be like too smalling you after he scores on you 4 straight possessions in the post. That shouldn't happen.
It felt a little bit like sodomy watching him go at him like that. Like
that hurt. It hurt.
It probably hurt Caleb too because it was rough. Like
did you guys see the like 2 plays where Duncan was trying to guard Ayton? I almost had I was like, oh no.
Yo, how about when Gabe Vincent got switched on to Ayton? Like, I'm fine with Duncan on Ayton in comparison.
There was a possession where the Suns got like 4 offensive rebounds between Ayton and Torrey Craig, and Bam was standing on the perimeter guarding Devin Booker, not going anywhere near the rim. Like that shit. Like that's dog. Like I was watching this game. Like this team is too little. They're just getting out talented because I don't think the Suns play particularly well. Like,
No.
like
they're really good defense though. Like they're even without Chris Paul, that's a good team.
That's it's an elite defensive team. And
they're
just
better
like
defensively without Chris Paul.
Yeah, because Chris Paul is trash.
Oh, brother.
Did I fucking stutter?
No, I know you believe it. That's what hurts.
No. It's not that I believe it. It's a fact.
That agenda's like a preschool kid. It's unbelievable. It's impressive.
Like a CEO, administrative assistant. I got plenty of
Black Skip Bayless, man. Jesus Christ.
First of all, don't you dare disrespect my ball knowledge like that. That boy does not know ball.
No,
and that's just objectively. Like when you listen to him, he does not know basketball.
Yeah.
Let's get back into this game a little bit more. I want to talk about Max Strus because he was terrible. Brian, you're gonna start us off on this conversation. Max Strus was shit. The specialists were shit tonight. So go ahead and talk about a combination or Strus because we already heard a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like games like this you kind of expect from specialists. Like they're not going to be in every single game, and that's kind of okay. Obviously, as discussed, Max Strus is not the best defender. Rough night for him, but versus a really good team, this is kind of like they won. You live with it. You move on. Like Max Strus is no disrespect. He's an undrafted role player. Obviously, he has one skill set. If he's not struggling from three, then he's kind of like, why is he on the court? But I'm not too mad at it. Last game he had what, 30?
31?
31? Yeah, so you live with it. I'm not mad at Max. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a sentiment that's shared across the board. Nobody can get mad at an undrafted role player.
I bet you there's at least one people on here who get mad at undrafted role players. There's one person on here.
Listen, first of all, he shares that opinion with several members of our cult. Lover of undrafted role players. Absolutely. Push that agenda. Jess, let's get to you. Let's talk about who we were talking about. Oh, Max.
Can I say one thing though? The same way that they're not going to be mad at Dwayne Washington, Max is our Dwayne Washington. If we want to really think about it, like this guy was a two-way player. I'm being dead ass. We're in the early stages. We don't know what this guy's going to turn into. But how much can you expect from him? These couple games that we saw, like we're going to have to be like renegotiating this man's contract at this point because him dropping 31 is the only reason we won that game.
Oh, he is a free agent next season.
I'm telling Tiffany Meeks that you said Max Strus is Dwayne Washington.
You know what? Though? I'll just quick comment about Dwayne Washington
right now.
Like half of his Miami Heat team is Dwayne Washington Jr. They're like,
when you say it like that, there are a lot of Dwayne Washington Jr.
Yeah.
We call him random scrub. What do other people call games when they get killed by Max Strus and Gabe?
Like, I don't even know what a
random fucking heat scrubs. That's what they call them.
Like we are
heat players. This is what they have. It's a different category.
When the Celtics got rid of this man and we started playing these teams and they're like, who the hell is this guy? Like, I'm talking about that sentiment. I'm not saying he's Max Strus. I'm saying like people are like, where did this guy come from? And me, I'm watching him like, this guy looks like every light skin at LA Fitness. I've never seen this guy in my life. Like, I have no idea who this is. And then he proceeded to drop 21. So
that's crazy. You just called that man Dylan Brooks right here live on YouTube.
Something about Gabe Vincent that first time. Like, who the hell is Gabe Vincent?
You just called that motherfucker Gabe Vincent. Random light skin motherfucker just out here hooping. Just call him Trey Jones. How many light skinned people can we get through on this? Yeah, bro. Gabe Vincent is one of them. Excuse me. Harry, what do you want to talk about from this fucking game? Because this game bored me. Oh, let's talk about Gabe Vincent since we didn't give him much shine tonight. He played okay.
Yeah, he played all right. I didn't know you could change my name without my consent. I didn't know that was a thing that could happen. I've been on a few of these things, and I didn't know you could just like put up what you want. So.
I'm just bored. It's
okay, all right. I'd like to clarify that I enjoy what the undrafted free agent can do for you, but we should be able to move the guy if we're not going to re-sign him or he's going to be too expensive. So if a Max Strus is going to be very expensive, we should trade Max Strus because we'll find another Max Strus the way we found another Duncan, the way we found another Strus. We'll keep doing it. Like we have to realize that this team has to embrace what they're good at. They're good at finding guys off the street who are good at basketball. So keep doing that while accumulating assets from those guys. I want to go back on track because you always make fun of me for going off topic. Gabe played okay tonight. It was weird because I was watching the game and thought he was playing well, and I was looking at the stats and they were fine. And then, like I said, the bench just got killed, and I really think it's like this team defensively is so bad without Bam on the floor that it doesn't really matter what's going on. And Gabe is a good defender for guys his size and a little bit taller. When you start having Gabe Vincent match up against guys much larger than him, that's a problem. That happened a lot in the postseason last year too. They were like, "Yeah, Vincent's a junkyard dog. He can guard anybody." And then he's not when the guy's 6'8", 6'9". It's not doing anything anymore. So I really want this Heat team to go out and find a couple guys that are taller than Bam.
Blasphemy.
With the hands that are able to catch a basketball.
Internal development, Harrison.
Too much, pal. We can get you one Joel Anthony.
No, I don't want a Joel Anthony.
Erik was the best that I could do.
I want
Carl White.
Ronnie Turioff.
Dexter Pittman.
You just need wings that can
Vladimir Stepanya.
Oh, boy. All right. I mean,
Wayne Simeon.
Oh, he had salmonella, man. Come on.
What? Hold on. What?
You don't remember that? He was out for weeks.
No.
He ate raw chicken or something.
I remember him being ass, but I don't remember what happened.
You don't remember? Okay, I remember.
That boy got a ring.
I remember Wayne Simeon because I really liked him out of the draft.
You got a ring the way Tracy McGrady got a Spurs ring.
I just remember him missing games from salmonella. I'm not making that up. That's a real thing. I don't remember how he got the salmonella, but he had it and he was out with it.
He ate at Miami Grill for sure.
And now, I think about it, they're definitely going to give Deadman a salmonella designation later in the season.
The reality is somebody needs to poison some of these dudes. That's what needs to happen.
Listen, good win tonight. I'm down. I thought everyone played pretty well and we pulled it out. Just give me some new guys. I'm tired of a lot of these guys, and I'm tired of the 8-man rotation. I'm pissed. I don't get it, and something bad's going to happen. You keep playing 8 guys. I was going to say we have 15, but we don't. We have 10. But
come on. You account for all the
we're playing most of the roster already, Harrison.
Just play a couple more, and that'll make you feel good. But yeah, I mean, no worries. And the undrafted free agents are good. But let's move on.
Shameless Haslem?
I don't want him on the roster. Play Jovic a little. Give me something different. Let's change it up.
Shameless.
Ariel, I left this comment up here for a long time because I wanted you to read it. So Go ahead and read this.
Is that real quick? Is that George?
Yes, that's George.
Oh, fuck you, George. Anyways, thank you, Heat Lifer, for the $2 donut. He says bench Herro starts Strus. Okay, you want my genuine, honest opinion? No agenda, no nothing.
No, I don't. I don't want to hear shit. I just want you to read that Tyler Herro should be on the bench, and then I want you to be quiet. That's it. Just allow that to happen. Let that sizzle in your spirit, in the words of my boy Country Wayne. Now go ahead, bro. You can give your take on it.
Okay. So what I was so the thing fuck. Because this is not going to be popular, but this is the reality, whether people like it or not, is whether or not you think the Heat are better with Herro coming off the bench. And I've said since like day one of this season, I was saying last season, but really this season, I've been saying, I don't care if he starts or comes off the bench, in the sense that I don't necessarily think it impacts how good the team plays. The only difference is that he comes in 5 minutes later as opposed to starting the game. And like the reality is the lineup combinations are not very different. They are going to play. He's going to play most of his minutes with the Heat's best players anyways. But the issue now, once you've made the decision to start Tyler Herro, is the optics of it and the reality of what's the word? Kind of I don't want to say upsetting him because that's too like plain language. I can't think of the word I'm thinking of, but if you demote him after he's been adamant about how he wants to start and all this, and you're essentially telling him at the start of the season, you're our guy, right? We've made this investment in you. You need to be the starting 2 guard. That's on him more than anything. So I'm not absolving him of blame, but the reality is now if you demote him, you're gonna estrange him. Like there's gonna be some friskiness there, and I don't think that that's the kind of thing the Heat can afford to do. If for only that you want to keep the optics of it good. If he's a young starting 2 guard and he has just the same season that he had last season, which he is about, like that's about where he's at. The efficiency's a little bit up. The minutes per game are down because of the injury game. But if he has the same season that he had last year, then you've got a 20-plus point per game, 22-year-old 2 guard locked up for 4 years. That is very movable. That is still their best asset on the roster by far. If you demote him to the bench, you are telling other teams, and other teams know this, like the Heat get scouted, that, hey, we weren't playing so well with him as a starter. We think he's actually a 6th man. That's the value that he's going to be assigned around the league. So aside from you're going to piss him off, right? You're going to put your organization in the locker room in a weird way, which I kind of already think there might be some stuff going on there in general, but I think you're just going to make it a lot worse. And you hurt your prospects of what you can get in a trade involving him. I just it's not a realistic move to me.
I don't care about none of that shit.
On the bench. Wait. I have a question.
Yeah.
In regards to upsetting Tyler Herro, what if Spo just texts him, shut the fuck up and play basketball?
If you don't think, if we're being serious, if you don't think that Spo and the coaching staff get on him and they ride him. There's if he's for sure told him that this season. Jimmy has for sure told him that.
Yeah, pass the fucking ball. I know he's been told that.
For sure.
We're getting paid millions of dollars to play a children's game, bro. Who cares?
Listen, I'm not debating whether or not that's right. I hear what you're saying and I agree with you. I'm just saying this is where we're at. Whether you want to accept it or not, that's where they're at.
So listen, I'm not as concerned with kind of the way Tyler feels about this so much as I am trying to maximize every season that
I get it.
That has always been my stance. And right now, look, I said, I said it tongue in cheek earlier, but the proof is in the pudding. The ball is moving without Tyler Herro being in there. And the one thing that we're lacking right now is bench scoring, which we know that he's capable of doing. That has been my argument behind benching him the whole time. Go ahead, Harrison.
I think I'm just going to split the difference between you guys. I think they need to keep starting Herro for a lot of the reasons that Ariel said, but it's more about the numbers now are he's really struggling on catch and shoot threes this year, which he was pretty good at last year. Neat. I mean, that's gonna affect the numbers now. And the other part is they just need to stagger his minutes where he can do a lot of what he wants to do on the bench, make him the first sub and then bring him back in. But him and Kyle have to figure it out if these guys are sticking on the team. Because like Ariel's saying, regardless of what you guys think of him, the agendas you have, he's going to be our best asset, which I know is maybe it's scary, but he is the best asset. And if you want to eventually move him for somebody else, which a lot of people want to do next season, and that might be something they're thinking about, he's got to be good, and he's got to do it as a starter. Him going back to the bench is the Heat admitting that they made a lot of mistakes this season, which they have, but they're not ready to admit that yet. And I do not think they want to do that. And because of all that stuff, because of that, Kyle and Lowry have to figure out whatever's going on between them, because you're right. The ball is moving better without him in the last 3 games. I'm not denying it. That has been the look, but I don't think it's it's over, moving back to the bench. They'll figure it out, and it's important for the team moving forward, his status as both a player and a young asset. He's got to figure it out as a starter.
So here's my thing. I guess after they gave him that extension, I stopped putting Tyler in trade packages in my head. I don't consider this a trade move. Get your ass on the bench because that's the best place for you with this team. Whether that's going for it right now with this current iteration of the team, I think he's better served off the bench. If we change that, if we trade Kyle Lowry, if we switch him and Gabe, if we can bench Kyle Lowry, then I'm with Tyler starting. I don't give a fuck. But right now, with what they're currently trotting out, I don't know. It's exactly what I thought would happen. He's letting the other starters off the hook by being so willing to shoot, and they just And
but that's what they need, right? How many years now?
Do they? Do they?
Well, I'm not saying he's
doing. Do they need to move the fucking ball?
So I'm not saying it's both. So I'm not saying he's doing a fantastic job of that. But have we not been saying for the last 3 years, hey, they need a guy who's going to take over and be that number one scoring guy? It's not Tyler Herro. He's not a number one dude. We know that. Right. But I'm just saying the archetype, the role, the type of player that he is what they've needed in that first 5. So why can't they make it work? He played a ton last season with this same starting 5 with PJ instead of Caleb, who's a worse shoot. Well, I don't know. It's kind of close. But PJ instead of Caleb. And those lineups were really good. They won 53 games. Why is it different this season?
Let's table that. TJ, I want you to jump in here. Why is it different now with Tyler Herro in the starting lineup versus last year when he was playing with the same people anyway?
Main reason is different is because Tyler is now looked at as like the focal point of the offense. When he's in there, they run a lot of stuff through him. And for some reason, Kyle and him can't figure out the dynamic of getting both of those guys. Obviously, last year, Kyle was a whole lot worse than he was this year. He was a lot less willing to take those pull-up shots that he's taking now. He was triggering a whole lot more in the offense versus now the ball is in Tyler's hands a whole lot more. When both of them are out there, Kyle kind of like gives up the playmaking duties to Tyler and kind of becomes like this catch and shoot guy. And while Kyle is still doing that, it comes more in the flow of ball movement and screening, and we're running this dribble handoffs. Whereas when Tyler's out there, it's kind of like dribble. Let's get a pick and roll going. Let's see what we can find off of that. Gives some penetration, kick out, stuff like that. The offense just flows differently. So that's the main reason it looks a lot different, because the when Tyler was inserted, it was kind of like, okay, Tyler, go score. This is what we need you. We need you to go score. It don't matter who you're out there with. Versus now, it's kind of like, Tyler, we need you to score, play make, and be the best pick and roll guy and do all this other stuff. There's a lot more responsibilities when he's running with a starter, simply because Kyle is taking more of a back seat versus last year when Tyler came in, it was like, Tyler, you're the dude, go. So that's the main difference.
Just I'm gonna throw it to you.
I was just gonna add on quick. Like, I feel like Harry said, like, yeah, the offense isn't like, it doesn't look as smooth. Like the ball doesn't move as smooth because it's like you put Tyler in there, and unfortunately we're in a situation where it's like we need him, like you said, to be like Spo telling him, like, yo, go score, like go do whatever you have to do to score. And so, like we said, he has the ball in his hand. He's looking to score. He's either creating shots for himself or they're running plays that are like, for him to score. So it's like, yeah, it's not going to be as smooth, but also it's like, if we weren't in a position where we had to rely on him to score like 25 points when he's in the game, then, yeah, our offense would run better. But also most of the time we're in a position where it's like, to whoever, it's like, obviously they give him the green light to go in there and do what he needs to do. And not everyone on the team gets that, but it's like, it's not, the offense isn't going to look as pretty or move as nice or get all these extra passes. And that extra pass, for an open three, like for Caleb or whatever it is, like with Tyler, it's like, he's going to take the ball to the rim. He's going to shoot a floater, whatever it is. But like the ball's going to be in his hand. The ball movement isn't going to look as good. And it's like, unfortunately, it's like we're in a position where a lot of games we end up having to depend on Tyler for that, because if not, we're down, So TJ? I don't know. I don't think it looks all that different, but.
And to add on to Jess, again, not different caliber players. Obviously, it'll work a lot better if insert player was in. But what do y'all think the offense would have looked like if you would have added like a Donovan Mitchell or a Zach LaVine or a scorer of that caliber? It would have looked the same in terms of responsibility and, play style and everything. The ball wouldn't be popping like it is right now. The main reason they do that is because Max Strus is a whole lot less complicated to integrate into an offense than a primary scorer. The problem is Tyler Herro is not good enough as of right now to be on the level of a Donovan Mitchell or Zach LaVine or everything like that. So it's kind of like, well, he got to go back to the bench, where his role is a lot more simpler, where it's just go score. And if it don't work out, he came off the bench anyway, so we don't care. But
Harry,
as a starter, it's like, go ahead.
No, I was gonna let Area jump in. I'm gonna let you finish. Then I'm gonna read Darius Jordan's dono. Then I'm gonna let Area jump in.
Okay, I was almost done. Just as a starter, that's why it looks so much different, because that's the role that a high level scorer would be in anyway.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let me read it real quick. Okay, Thank you, Darius Jordan, with $5 dono. He said it's bad because Tyler can't do much without someone setting him up. He's gotten better at that. Like just in all seriousness, he has gotten better at it. He still does need a lot of help to kind of get in positions to score. But Ariel, I want to let you jump in.
So I think Twan, like when you mentioned that Max is easier to integrate into an offense because he's a much lower usage type of player than Tyler Herro, I thought like that's a really good point. And it's kind of what I've been thinking, in that the way that Tyler Herro is being used in that starting five when he's out there with those guys is very similar to how they used him in his second season when they started him at the beginning of the season. If y'all remember, that didn't go well, right? Like he wasn't ready for it. He's a better
as a point guard.
Yeah, so that's a whole other thing. But he's a better playmaker now, and he's better with the ball in his hands than he was then. But he's still not like some elite, playmaker or 3-level scorer that can get it on his own all the time. He's not Donovan Mitchell. He's not one of those guys. But his usage, the way that they use him with that lineup, with those starters, is just not conducive to his skill set. So with those guys, you're out there with really good to elite level playmakers, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo.
Spitting jit.
And when he's not, and when he's not playing like shit, Kyle Lowry. But what you're doing is you're taking them all off the ball, and you're having your best spacer in the lineup be on the ball. It's just not really smart. Tyler Herro needs to be a play finisher when he's out there with the starters, and he needs to be a playmaker if you're going to put him out there with the bench lineups and let him cook like he did last year. But the way they're using him now is not conducive to them having good success as a team and for those lineups being cohesive. So I think that's the main issue.
Brian, I'm going to let you jump in on this conversation. Harry, you're going to wrap us up, and then we're going to go to the next game. So, Brian, go ahead and tell me what you think about this conversation.
No, I very much agree with what Ario said. Like, I think that Tyler Herro obviously has skills, options B, C, D, to get his own shot, whatever. But I think that I personally would like to see him used a lot more like Max Strus as his primary scoring, plays drawn up for him. Like his primary, plays are more like catch and shoots, pick and or off the pick and roll, picking, popping, whatever, all that stuff. Like I think that ideally for me, if you are staggering with Kyle Lowry, then he can go back to being that faux James Harden, like go get it, whatever. But I think that if you are trying to essentially run Tyler Herro as like a Donovan Mitchell type player, whatever, it's probably not going to work out too well for you. We've seen that just this season. Like I don't think that Tyler Herro with the ball in his hands trying to run him as like this elite offensive option is going to work out super well. But obviously, like that's what they've kind of paid him to do. He's lottery pick. He's the guy that the Heat have kind of talked up. So you kind of have to see what he can do as more than just like an elite role player type guy. But I'm not sure that that's going to happen this season. I think they're probably going to run him as if he is this, as if he is a Donovan Mitchell, Luka Doncic, like Trae Young, like whatever, like 20 plus per game scorer type guy. So yeah, it's a weird situation. They're kind of stuck.
I said this a lot last year. Like last year, I wanted Tyler Herro to explore his game. And I feel like this is the year that they're going to let him explore his game, but I don't want him to explore his game. I want him to do what he did last year. I'll
say this, Royal, though. If you don't think they're a legit contender this year, then this is actually the ideal year to kind of let him just have the ball and, hey, go screw up and learn everything you can.
Yeah, but I felt this way about the team last year very early on. Like, I didn't think they were going to do much of shit. So that's why I was like, I don't give a fuck what Tyler Herro does. Turned out to be the best thing for him because they ended up with the 1 seed. I don't know if that was a good thing for him. Harrison, we're going to let you wrap us up on this conversation, and then we're going to move to the next game.
I think Herro just needs the reps in the starting lineup. That's why, I hope they're being truthful, and the ankle just is being kind of tender, because if they're holding him out for any other reason, or I'd be a little annoyed. He needs to get out there. He needs to really integrate himself into the starting lineup. And I think Twan was kind of on the money. Like when Herro started in his career, it hasn't been as comfortable as when he's come off the bench. So he's got, and it's been a few years now, and there's been other factors at play, but it's kind of become the consistent thing. He's just not as comfortable in the starting lineup. But listen, you
spitting right now, Harrison.
I know. But they made this commitment to him.
Put him on the fucking bench, Harrison.
But here's the problem. They extended him, which I didn't really like. It took away a lot of trade possibilities this year. At least I think it does. There's this stuff they can do, but it's super complicated. And I just sleepy.
You were born too.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I do that sometimes.
My bad.
No, but it's all good. But I just think like he's got to get out there. He's got to figure it out. I think it's to put him on the bench and admit that this whole thing has been like, oh yeah, sorry, we shouldn't have changed anything. It's like, man, it's BS. Go out, figure it out. We paid you a lot of money. Let's get this shit going and be the efficient scorer we know you to be. I think the catch and shoot numbers will come back, and I'm expecting him to bounce back and start to figure this out. But he's got to work with Kyle and whatever they have to do, because right now, regardless of what you think about the team, they need Tyler to do well. Whatever your agenda is, they need him to play well.
I agree.
And so I don't agree with putting him on the bench. They just got to keep. They got to keep trudging along and hope for the best.
You hoes all agree with me. Y'all just don't want to say it on.
No, I do not.
Yes, you do, you Canadian hoes.
We will talk off air, and I will have the same energy, and you know it.
What, bro? Listen, bro. You can lie in front of the camera all you want to. I do it all the time, bro. I know what you want. You
Yes,
want to
you
win,
do.
and the way to win.
I don't want to win this year. I'm with Twan, man. I want all the ping pong balls this year. Come back next year.
Are we certain that they're going to keep their pick this season?
What'd you say, Brian?
Are we certain they're going to keep their pick this season? Do we know that they're not going to trade it for an
Harrison?
upgrade?
Don't get Harrison started on this topic either. You should listen to the Random Scrub Heat podcast. My boy LJ and Harrison and George gave an excellent summation of kind of where they believe the Heat should do it this pick this year, and we're gonna let that stand for the whole basement. So go listen to the Random Scrub Heat podcast. Let's talk about this next game. We travel to Toronto on Wednesday. Jess, we're gonna start with you. The girl feeling good?
I feel all right. I mean, we're at about the same record, I'm pretty sure. I just feel like you never know what to expect with this team. And so, Bam's not going to drop 30, but maybe Max will again. Maybe Tyler will play. Maybe Bam will be aggressive again. I think we can win.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thumbs up Justin in the private chat. This is going to be an awkward transition. We want to thank the primary sponsor of the Basement Sports Network, and that's Simple Health Advisors. Ladies and gentlemen, insurance does not need to be complicated. Email them or give them a call today and tell them that the Basement sent you. Email I got James Poe at jpoe@simplehealthadvisors.com or give them a call at 321-345-7738. Thank you, James Poe, and the people over at Simple Health Advisors for sponsoring the Basement. Brian, the boy feeling good about the game versus Toronto?
Bro, I have no fucking idea. I don't know who's playing for Toronto. I really don't. Like, is Pascal Siakam playing? Is Fred VanVleet playing? They have a lot. Yeah, they have a lot of guys out, right?
Siakam, Gary Trent, Achua, and
Banton. There's some guy Banton
All
that's
out.
dropping like 20 something a game.
See, this is the game that the Heat should win. It should blow the Raptors out, but also like this is also the game that they lose. Where it's like everybody's out, they should win, and then they fucking. Bro, I don't know who this team is. I really don't. I'm gonna say they win just off of logic, but who fucking knows? Yeah, sure. We'll be positive. We'll say they'll win. Yeah, I feel great.
I tell you who knows. Ariel Latias knows. Ariel, the boy feeling good?
The boy's feeling fantastic. The boy's also going to be in the building for that game. And the boy,
we got Ariel press credentials to the Toronto Raptors versus Miami Heat game.
No, they did not.
Shut your ass up.
And the Heat are 5-1 all time when the boy is in the building. So going by the odds, they're at better than 80% likelihood to win this game. Don't argue with my math. The Heat win this game. Like Brian said, the Raptors are decimated with injuries. If they lose this game, I'm telling you, none of you missed this postgame show because it's going to be fire.
We're going to be right back on the same shit that we saw 2 games ago. TJ, no, three games ago at this point. TJ, the boy feeling good?
You know the vibes. The boy is feeling lovely. Hopefully Tyler Herro plays. There's been too much winning going on. The Detroit Pistons are currently 3-12, ladies and gentlemen. The Miami Heat are 7-7. That is not working hard enough for me. I need to lose some games. Integrate Tyler Herro back in. I need a master class. Honestly, if we're being honest.
I saw Tyler.
Hey, ISO Tyler every play.
Let's get Tyler in the post a little more.
Malachi Flynn has 52 right now, ladies and gentlemen. So I can't wait for this game. I'm praying for a loss. If we get 4 straight wins, you won't be seeing very much of me. I can't do winning this season because ultimately it's going to lead to a first-round exit anyway. I'm tired of the 15th pick. Tired of the 14th pick, tired of the 13th. Don't want nowhere near. I need single-digit picks this year, so hopefully it's a loss.
Bring me Scoop. You hear me? Harrison, did I let you know yet? No, the boy feeling good, Harrison?
The boy is feeling fine. I think they'll win. This is a good win to kind of buoy them into a couple more, so I'm sorry about that, TJ. But I'm kind of with you too. The first round exit, second round exit does nothing for me right now. Like
waste of time.
I'm gonna go see Scoot. I'm gonna go see Scoot in Vegas in January. I would love to be rooting for that guy in a Heat uniform.
We got credentials for Harry to go see Scoot in January.
I probably could. I made good friends with the ticket guy, so maybe I'll see what I can do. But yeah, I mean, I think they'll win. Toronto's decimated. Obviously not an easy place to play, but the Heat have a bunch of road games coming up, and it would be nice to start off with the win. So hopefully they can do it.
Yeah, Ariel was talking shit about the Heat home record earlier today. I'm putting his ass on Front Street. But ultimately these road games are going to be Thank you, Dash Jordan, for the $10 donut. He said, Spo praise for Bam, though. Spo's always going to praise everybody, except for Tyler.
Praise Tyler.
Nah, he damn sure gave Tyler the business in one of them press conferences, though. But no, I do think he going to blow that shit out. Fuck is you talking about? That's what I believe. Because, look, bro, like y'all said, Toronto's decimated with I honestly do expect Miami to win this game, bro. This win streak is starting to turn into something, TJ. You know what I'm saying? We might hate it, but it's starting to turn into something. Unless that man, only one man can get us back on track. Only one man. And he right there on that board behind you. Your wonder boy. If he bring his fucking ass back here, Wimby, here we come. Because he gonna take the fucking season. If you want to win, don't put Tyler in. But if you want Wimby, I don't know nothing that around with Wimby.
I saw him trying so hard.
Bro, that shit, it was almost smoke coming out my ears like trying to figure out a word that rhyme with Wimby. All the fake ass rappers like check the game in the comments. Y'all give me a word that rhyme with Wimby. All you motherfuckers on Atlanta is rappers. So, big on an hour and 10 minutes, way too long. Thank you guys in the comments as always for joining the show, making it much more fun than it would have been without you. Thank you to my man Ariel, Harrison, Jess, and the two members of the Cain gang, Brian and TJ, for joining me. We'll see y'all next time. Play the video, Justin.
Oh yeah, we packing somebody up tonight. Hey. Come on in, take your shoes off before we close the door. Few rules, heat packing the air. We about to blow. This the basement, ain't nobody safe. You already know. Grab a seat and kick your feet before you get too comfortable. You want the X's and the O's, the trade, yes and no, friends and the foes, the butlers and the heroes. You can feel it in your soul. The win, the ring is the goal. But if somebody need to go, we be sure to let you know. Going hard for my dogs is an everyday thing. Like Jimmy down the lane of 13 off the screen. Whole squad keep it tucked like number 17. Bring your takes and your memes. Going hard for the team. Going down in the basement. It's going down in the basement. Get your takes off. Get your takes off. Going down in the basement.